So coming up next to the microphone, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mitch.
What's up, what's up? Alright, so I'm going to read a story here that won't disturb you as much, I hope. But just real quick to go with the theme, since it's pissing yourself. I pissed someone else once and it was really funny. My little brother was taking a shower and he was about 14 or 13, and it was that age where he's really uncomfortable when people see you naked. And I walked into the bathroom because I had to take a piss, and I thought, gee, wouldn't it be funny if I threw open the shower door? And I did, and he screamed, alarmed. He didn't have his glasses on, but he knew it was me. And he was just like, come on, man, fuck you, get out of the bathroom. And I walked out of the bathroom and I said, you know what, I still have to take a piss. So I went back in the bathroom, threw open the shower door, and I dropped my pants to my ankles, and I just started pissing on him. And at first, he didn't realize it because he was in the warm shower. And so he didn't realize that there was warm piss all over him. But all of a sudden, he smelled it. And he started freaking out. And then the problem was, you know, you can't stop pissing when you're laughing. And he was screaming, and I was laughing, and I don't know, I emptied a lot onto him. But, you know, he was in the shower, so I didn't feel bad about it. But he was tripping on decks the other night, and I brought it up, and he seemed to be no hard feelings. So anyway, I'm going to read a story here called Elephant Boy and Dunkin' Donuts that I wrote last week, because I submitted RU480 Sex to this Absurdist magazine, and they rejected it. So I wrote this one, and they rejected this too. And I'm kind of composing an email telling the guy he can kiss my dick. But anyhow, Elephant Boy and Dunkin' Donuts. If you listen closely, you can hear it. Over the hyperdrive, Punjabi accented coffee order confirmations, over the moan and grumble of the old codger contentedly sipping a small black 2 sugars, over the screech word chug click of the machinery and back, it hums gloriously at the resonant frequency of reality. I first heard the sound about a month of early morning coffees ago, suddenly audible during a 5:43 lull. I sat, working on an extra large, extra light, extra sweet, and somewhere to the right, I started to detect it.
Fuck that!
Look at this pretty lady.
Hello. He's got to bend the knees.
Look at those dudes. The apostles.
Where's Chris?
Where the hell's Chris when I need him?
Yo, CY!
Why'd you trip over the chair?
I'm clumsy.
Why the hell are you so clumsy?
I don't know. I was born that way.
Is it Jersey or what?
No.
Should we do it down here where all the people shoot up heroin?
Sure.
Yeah, sounds good. Alright, you maybe sit over there. I'm just gonna ask about it.
Before I share a little story with you, let me share a little anecdote that just happened just now. I should preface this by saying that the first time I got a genital piercing, I went to Sam's apartment in Ocean Grove, and I came out of the bathroom the next morning because I hadn't learned how to pee with a genital piercing yet, and I pissed all over my boxer shorts. And since I'm never going to see any of you guys again, probably, I'll inform you that just now while I was in the bathroom peeing, I peed all over my fucking shorts. It hasn't happened in between. Anyway.
No, but you didn't even tell them the best part. It was when you burst in on me and my girlfriend, we were still sleeping it off, and in your piss-soaked boxers, just said, I just pissed all over myself.
So everybody, I don't know if it's still visible, but I just pissed all over myself. All right.
Can I get a light too?
Yeah. No. Actually, you don't fucking keep this one. I guess I helped someone move today, and they gave me like 5 lighters.
Nice, dude. Thank you.
It's pretty good.
Could you say and spell your name for the camera?
Sure. Well, you want my pen name or my?
However you want to read it.
Yeah. All right.
It comes up on the screen.
Word. Okay. I read as Mitch Maraud. It's MITX MARAUDE.
Yeah.
Oh, what was Israel like?
Well, I've been there a few times, but that particular time I pissed all over Jerusalem and my hotel room after double fisting pitchers of beer all night because it was so cheap. But
double fisting pitchers of beer, pissing all over Israel. I like this guy.
I was like 16.
And he was 16 at the time. What do you think of the antagonist movement?
From what I've seen, man, I've only seen, like...
My hand's so shaky from drinking.
Yeah, it's alright. Well, I'm fucking all shaky, whatever. I've only been to the readings here, but what I've seen so far, like, I like what's going on. Like, I like the idea behind it, and I definitely like... I'll say it this way, like, I'm moving to Illinois in June, and I'm kind of fucking kicking myself that I didn't get deeper into it.
The sound flashed all rose and peach and aqua in my brain. The coffee in my mouth skittered like bugs that tasted like sour cherry and mango and honey. The sound issued again, all soft whirly in my solar plexus now.
You know, antagonism goes with you everywhere, right?
Oh, trust
Yes.
me. It goes with me everywhere. So I know.
One of our ethos, is that the correct word? One of the ethos of the antagonist movement is art is crime, crime is art. So we always ask people, would you ever commit a crime to further your art or to be able to do your art?
Fuck yeah, dude. I do graffiti all the time, so that's
So art's
there.
crime's part of your art already.
Why'd you start writing?
Why did I start writing?
Uh-huh.
Shit, I started writing, I guess because I wanted to kiss teachers' ass in like 3rd grade. And I started writing my shit because I wanted to piss teachers off in 7th grade. And just kind of took off.
What was the shit that you wrote in 7th grade that pissed teachers off?
Oh,
What was that shit?
yeah, what was that shit?
And do you still have copies of it?
You know, I just found an assload of my high school writing. It was poetry, mostly. And it was just like, I'm from Jersey, I live near Newark, and I ended up going to Newark to take the train all the time, and just like, talking about the shit I saw in Newark that, you know, I went to a Jewish high school, it just was, and middle school, so it was a little jarring for them.
I pinned it down. It was coming from the ladies' restroom. The sound rolled down my shoulders like gentle thunder, the nuclei of all my cells blossoming like flowers in springtime. I had to know the source. Still reeling, I scampered over to the ladies' room. An oversized coffee filter was taped to the door. Out of order, hastily scrawled in red pen. Who did they think they were to hide the source of this gorgeous sound? Gingerly, I tried the handle. The employees distracted, discussing Vedic astrology. Unlocked. It turned with a gentle snick, and I edged the door open to see light in every color I'd never known. I stood there entranced, my mouth hung open, my tongue squirm-wiggling, tasting fennel and cardamom, my nostrils full of lavender and opium and sandalwood. Bathroom broken, not working! The screech brought me back to my senses. I stammered apologies and blushed and stepped outside to smoke a cigarette with trembling hands. I had to know what they were hiding. I had to get into the Dunkin' Donuts ladies' restroom. I flung my cigarette to the sidewalk, a shower of embers exploding from the end, and threw open the door. My eyes went slit serious. As I crossed to the bathroom, I pointed at the door and calmly stated, "I'm going in." Frantic, the woman behind the counter urged me, "Not working!" "I know you're hiding something," I pleaded, suddenly desperate. "I heard it!" "You heard?" Her voice trembled, suddenly placid, almost reverent. Her coworker remained unconvinced. "If you heard, then show us," he demanded. Callous brash, his arms crossed around an old string mop.
Tens of people that are going to see this. Do you have any words of wisdom or parting words that you want to tell people?
Anonymous quote from an MIT blackboard: art is not a mirror, art is a hammer.
One more thing. You said hits. Where's it going to hit?
You can check it out, www.redscream.com. And also, Jeremy Robert Johnson, Angel Dust Apocalypse, fucking support that dude, because he's hooked me up and he's taking me somewhere.
Fuck yeah. All right, thanks, man.
No doubt, dude. Take it easy.
Look at the people walking behind me. Look at them as they think they can see forward in life and have something to say. Might not be some trouble and strife, but at least they'll go and carry on and change the word. And I don't know, that's my song.
you doing?
All right.
How you doing?
Right on there. Shit, I haven't done this for a while. It's gonna be fun. I sat down and wrote a little poem to go along with the theme. It's called I Wish I Were a Pedophile. Well, I wrote two poems actually. Well, a poem and some prose. I wish I were a pedophile, so I could tell you what the hell you would most likely kick my ass for. More than anything, I would be confused. Because I used to want to fuck my own mother, but my brother's friend had her bent over the couch one hot afternoon when I walked in the house. Her blouse was open, I was hoping I could join, but my presence was annoying. Then, there was this 4-year-old child in the sandbox, her skirt hiked up, like she wanted to fuck.
Over here?
Thank you. Yeah, have fun. You guys
man,
are good, man.
Yeah, I'll see you hopefully next Sunday or sometime soon.
Definitely, I'll definitely be back.
Cool, man.
Right on.
How you doing, man? I'm Mike. They asked me to interview you. Nice to meet you. Yeah, I enjoyed your stuff.
Oh, no.
And I actually especially like your fucking hat. I mean, no, really. It's like I like that old school stuff, whatever you call it. You know, I've been drinking $3 beers last night because I'm Jewish.
All right.
Okay.
Right on.
All right, for the antagonist movement, could you give us your name and could you spell it, please? Because these guys want to have the facts straight.
My name is Jamal. That's spelled J-A-M-A-L. My last name is Simmons. That's S-I-M-M-O-N-S. My pen name is Living Room Johnston. That's L-I-V-I-N-G-R-O-O-M. Last name J-O-H-N-S-T-O-N. Living Room Johnston with a T. Right on.
That's a good name. How did you come up with that name? That's an excellent name.
I rented an apartment in Brooklyn on Parkside, and it was a 1-bedroom, but I didn't get a good feeling about the living room. I'm sorry, the bedroom. And I never slept in it, didn't put no furniture in it or nothing. I used the apartment as a studio. I lived in my living room, though my kitchen and bathroom, until like I had a couple of roommates and they moved out, but I never made use of that bedroom. And so I came up with the name Living Room. And Johnston, which is a pretty common name in the African American community. Also, it's a common name used in comedy a lot. You know, Johnson, Johnston, it's just like expected. Jones, Johnson, Johnston, just like what people expect. And so I basically thought about Living Room Johnston, and I made this character that I write about. And you know, when I do prose, sometimes I do prose poetry, and that's where, you know, that comes from.
I like the name. Well, that's an excellent name. I didn't catch it. Were you announced as that? No, you weren't. You were
as
just
Jamal.
Right. I got you.
And you know, because in my book I mentioned the book on the cover. It's Harlem Remembers the Bronx, a novel by Living Room Johnston.
Right.
But Living Room Johnston is the actual character in the book. He makes like a cameo appearance, like 2 or 3 times, and the focus is on this character, Harlem, far from square.
How would you describe, or you know, what you did tonight? Like, what was it that you did tonight? I know you read 2 different things, but how would you describe it as what you did?
It's fun. I had fun. I felt like there were genuine artists here tonight, and I felt comfortable. I didn't feel like people were getting up there like, I want to be the best and I want to do this or that. Everyone was just pretty much being themselves, and we were all comfortable with it. Like, people would read and like start laughing in between, or like, you know, mess up and just keep going, and it wasn't like, I messed up, like, you know, Star Search or something. I thought it was cool.
What do you think about the fucking assholes that go over the 5-minute time limit? Which is a real pet peeve of mine. That's why I'm asking you this.
did more than 5 minutes.
I think it was 6, you know.
Because did I do more than 5 minutes?
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
Maybe a little bit.
Oh my goodness.
No, but it was good. It was,
Is that a trick?
Well, what I want to know is you came in with the fantastic poem that was the subject matter, which was great and funny and scary at the same time. And then you shilled your book for like the next 8 or 9 minutes. Now, that being said, you broke the rules and you pissed me off. However, that is what the antagonist movement is all about. So you actually got free advertising time for your book. Did you sell any tonight?
No.
How much are the books?
Books are $15, but I wouldn't sell them inside the bar because I don't know y'all and I don't know what y'all doing.
Go to get it or whatever?
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Which is what? No, sell it.
Hey, I know.
You can sell the book in the bar.
Look,
It's okay to
all
sell the
right,
book
man.
in the
You
bar.
know, this is the thing, man. I was told before I couldn't, like, you know,
It is totally
I couldn't
okay.
sling my books in places, and it's
We're
like
here
it's
to fuck
cool.
with everybody and then let
Right
everyone
on.
fuck right back with us. But is there a website, because if this goes anywhere, that people can get your book or check you out?
Yeah, go to fqsclabel.com. Once again, that's fqsclabel.com and check it out. Go to the bottom, left click, and you'll see a picture of me, you know, the urban book slinger, or just go on Friendster and search for this brother, you know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. I got another book coming out. It's titled Harlem. Should be out within the next 2 or 3 weeks, give or take, depending on how I feel and the way the weather rolls, you know what I'm saying? And this is the beginning of a century, you know what I'm saying? And like, this is gonna be heard. What I'm doing is gonna be heard regardless. I could die broke, but it's gonna be heard. People gonna dig on this. I know that.
How would you tell someone else to find inspiration?
All you gotta do is just know that you are not unique and it's not all about you. So, you know, don't feel sorry for yourself and just keep it moving. If somebody don't like your shit, then so be it. You know what I mean? It don't even have to be about, oh, F this person or F that person or this one doesn't like me. No, it ain't all about politics, you know what I'm saying? Because people only know what you tell them. You know what I mean? If you keep your mouth shut, then you don't have to back nothing up unless you really have to. You know what I mean? And that's it.
Good evening. What now? What do you do now? Laugh, cry, shout, die? Why? Because it's all fucked now, isn't it? No hope. No hope at all. There's always hope. Give enough hope and they'll hang themselves. You can take to the streets, smash it up, tear it down. If you're going to tear it down, best be damn sure you got something to put in its place. So you plan. Time to get creative now. That's what you do. Justify your existence. If I create one thing that touches one person, makes them think, makes them smile, makes them look at things differently, then I've achieved something, haven't I? Yes or no? Leaning more towards no.
Can you say and spell your name for the camera?
Jimmy the Gent. Jimmygent. I don't stand in front of people and chat on a mic. I don't even go to places where other people do it. And if I did, I'd stand at the back and I'd take the piss. This is shit. Yeah, this is shit. Ain't gay. Gay shit. That's butters. I guess things don't change because if I'm not mistaken,
modified this. Alright, go ahead.
How did you get involved with the antagonist movement? How did you end up here?
my dear friends, the Lady Margaret and Sean the Revelator DJ here every other Sunday. So I came down, and I've never spoken, I've never written or spoken, I've never got up in front.
Get Lily from you tomorrow.
Oh my God, I can't work in these conditions. I've never stood up in front of people. In English class, I used to shake, and I couldn't do it. And I've never got up in front of people. But I'm in New York, it's a different place, and I like the fact that here people want you to do what you want to do. And I had a story to tell, so I got up and told it, and the rest is history.
What inspires you to write? What makes you want to write?
Well, I'm not a writer, and one time my friend introduced me to someone as a writer because I'm producing a comic book. I don't like that word. Serialized sequential graphic narrative is all I've come up with, but that sucks. But then I realised that I like words and I like
the way you can put words together and it creates meanings, and you can trigger thoughts with those words.
One of our mottos for the antagonist movement is art is crime and crime is art. So we always ask people, would you ever commit a crime for your art?
Commit a crime? I guess that's a relative thing. Like where you go, crime is different where you go. I mean, in New York you can't smoke indoors, you can't dance, I heard, which is one of the craziest things. I wondered when it became dancing, if it was like foot tapping, head nodding, like when would it be? Within reason, yes. I would never do anything that hurt anyone else or infringed on anyone else, like in that way. I would never want to hurt anyone. But other than that,
where would you like to see the world of writing go?
I don't know. Like I say, I love comic books. I love words and pictures together, and I love the third thing that you can create when a word says one thing and a picture says another. And I went to art school. Juxtaposition of those two things creates a third thing in your mind. So yeah, I'd like to see more words and pictures.
And this is Old Dirty Potato. The soul of Old Dirty Bastard is in this potato. And I am a terrorist. We are here to welcome you to the antagonist movement. My screw is loose. Thank you for coming tonight. Potatoes away.
Hi everybody. Welcome to this week's edition of Fahrenheit, brought to you by the Antagonist Movement.
Brendan McMullen, BRENDAN MCMULLEN.
How did you get involved with the antagonist movement? How did you end up here tonight?
I heard about it through Brian. Brian invited me out because he knows I like to write, and he told me. I've been here before. I came for the one about proms like a year and a half ago. I have a lot of, I feel like I have a lot of, everybody does, but I feel like I have a lot of interesting stories to tell. I've lived a pretty crazy life, and I feel it helps me to reconcile those stories, because a lot of them are painful, to get it down on paper and write it and express it.
Okay. One of our mottos for the antagonist movement is art is crime and crime is art. So we always ask everybody, would you ever be willing to commit a crime for your art?
I think so, as long as it didn't involve hurting people specifically. As far as like hurting a corporation, I don't give a shit.
I don't know about that.
So we'll all write about Mike Diaz.
I love soccer mums.
I'd like to see it less geared towards selling huge things, selling like the Da Vinci Code.
Right.
I'm not, you know, like everyone tells me to read that book, but I don't give a fuck.
It's like literary.
I'd like it to be, and I'd prefer if it were more, if there were actually more readings and you could get out and people would. If you'd get more people reading that way, you know, like get people to actually meet the authors and have more workshops where you'd get young people writing at a young age. I think.
So I flew out here after my tour of 28 days, and before my tour of 28 days, I spent 2 weeks in rehab.
Okay, first, can you say and spell your name for the camera?
I can indeed for you, Ethan. It's Natalie Baverstock. That's NATHALIE-BAVERSTOCK.
4 weeks I've been here, I've demolished any bit of good that I managed to do, and have rolled in at 6 o'clock in the morning at the earliest, absolutely wasted.
How did you first get involved with the antagonist movement?
I think I stumbled into downstairs Niagara at one point with a friend of mine, Olympia, and I got talking to this guy, Ethan, at the bar, that actually was being a bit of a jerk to me the first few minutes that I was there. And then we got talking about some random English art and crap, and it went on from there.
I've woken up on several people's sofas, some people that I don't think I've ever met before in my life, face down in some dribble, and snuck out the door, leaving behind 2 pairs of shoes so far, a watch, my flatmate's keys, and several other items of my possession.
The antagonist movement is a bunch of people that really will do anything for their art or what they believe in. Art to them is not necessarily a look at me, I'm an amazing painter, or look at me, I can write a really good peace. It's just things that are important to them, or that's the way I see it, and it's that you will stand up for what is important to you. In London, when I got back last time, I put on a couple of evenings and events, and we took over a place in Brixton, which was actually one of the first places the Clash ever played, and that gave it the right vibe for me. And I put up lots of posters and advertisements and invited lots of people down and printed up on the flyers the Antagonist statements, and basically ended up with a good few hundred weird people who I love. And we had live music and a little bit of spoken word and lots of art on the walls, and we did it for about 3 months, once a month. I keep it related for the fact that I try and bring the beliefs of the antagonists in the States over to the people that I believe have the potential to actually stand up for themselves and believe in what they have to say over in the UK, because in the UK we have a really good thing of the hipsters. I think we actually have more hipsters than you guys do at the moment, and it just gets on my nerves, and I tend to end up wanting to kick people's ass when I go to these clubs.
As I fly home in a couple of weeks and I pick up that pen and then probably fail to communicate with him yet again, my summer will draw to a close, and I'll go back on another 28-day tour and consider shoving my ass back in rehab before coming out here again and repeating the summer cycle. So his summer starts because he lives in South Africa, and mine ends, and that's my summer.
He made me stand beside him and talked about having unprotected sex with like underage girls in 1968, and I tried to do, but you know, it was a good free love fest. If you missed it, you're sorry. Coming up next to the microphone, Evan, last of the Beat Poets.
Stay in school, don't do drugs. Thank you. Thanks,
That's totally contradictory to all this stuff.
Sometimes I forget I'm the older one, mature, sensible, and successful. You'd wear the shoulder pads in this family, but I don't resent you or your success, because I distinctly remember having to leap out of the bath in order to escape the silent fleet of submerged brown torpedo unleashed by not your hand. Mum said you couldn't help it, but I noticed that sly glint in your eye, the smirk on your lips. They were meant for me.
He's not good.
Yeah! Jimmy the Jet, ladies and gentlemen. And Jimmy, I am directing this at you. Jimmy, I'm directing this right at you. I'm gonna have to say that I would lose the sweatshirt so horribly, because you know what? One of my most favorite words in the English language is awesome. So
you owe me a beer?
I owe you a beer, Jimmy. And that's magnificent.
Thanks.
All right, Jimmy the Jet, ladies and gentlemen.